This is a 3D Max tutorial. A couple of the basics covered in this tutorial and how to make custom shapes that aren't on your list on the right here, either in the standard primitives or the extended primitives. So quick basics, move around your scene by grabbing the little brick. Bottom right hand corner you can make your screen full, so this is the scene you can be working in. I'll just put a couple of boxes so we know what's what. Use all the other scenes because they're much easier to use when you start to model stuff, but in here we can keep it nice and basic. So right click on the viewfinder and go to edged faces. I want to be able to see where the polygons are, because in my parameters on the right hand side I'm able to add content using the options that are found underneath the second tab, which is your modifier. They're always there. Okay, so now on to how you can make custom shapes that aren't on that list. I'll just delete these guys. There we go. Back to the create tag at the start, and I'm going to go to splines, the second option, the 2D flat shape option. They're just paths, so those of you who use Photoshop and Illustrator, they're just like using the pen tool. Whatever they may be, they don't have a 3D element to them, they're just 2D. They all have different options and variables and changeable things on the list, but I'm going to use the line for the moment, and I'm thinking of making a girder for a roof system, maybe like the things that would hold up the ceiling on your house. Or a barn or a factory. So I'm going to click with the line. I'm going to go up to the top. It doesn't have to be on the grid, I'm just using it as a guide. So I'm going across, 3 across. I'm going to go 4 across there. Be as accurate as I can. And then the drop down so it's kind of symmetrical. I can make it perfectly symmetrical, we'll look at that later on, but I quite like it when it's a little bit random. So I'm still I want to finish there. I just want that line. So to stop using the tool, because I'm still attached to it, I just right click and it stops using it. So what I've actually done is I've created this path just sits on the floor. You can't see it if you rendered it as a picture. It's just a path. The modifier we're going to use is sweep. So if I go over to my modifier list, second option, there's my line. Hit the drop down list. It's in alphabetical order. So I'm going to go down to S, find sweep. Now what that does is it turns your line into an object. If I look closely and I use my parameters on the right hand side, my options, there's a drop down list with lots of different variations of what that could be. I want something that looks like I can make it into like a metal girder. If you scroll down even more underneath that drop down list, just grab the little hand and roll it up. Here are your parameters, your values. You can affect the length. I think that's more like what a builder might use to build like a factory roof system. You can check the thickness of it. You've got the corner radius to see how curved you want it to be. Try not to go too much because it'll overlap. So make sure you don't get anything flaring out, and it tends to sort of freak out a little bit when you do. So I'm going to keep my mine quite nice and tight. Looks like it's got metal weld lines on it. And as I go around the object, holding Alt and clicking the roller wheel in on my mouse, I can start to see around it. Now that object is a custom shape. So if I get the move tool up at the top, the 4 arrows, I'm going to grab the blue and hold shift down. I can create myself another one. In fact, I'm going to create 5 of them. So I've got 4 more. Select them all, get my rotation tool, and then grabbing the right gizmo, the right band here, I'm going to rotate it by 90, or as close to 90 as I want to get. There we go. And now I've got myself a roof system, or patterns for a roof system. Custom shapes used by simply creating a basic line under splines, which is the second option next to where the box is normally found. Try it out.